Welcome to Success from Scratch, episode number 54, and my special guest, Alan Oliver. Alan, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Now, 54 has a special place in your heart because you're a linebacker, and your number was 54.
Yeah, I was a linebacker back when I played football with DeSoto.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's pretty cool that I'm on the 54th episode.
54 and 54 is your number. As a linebacker now, you're kind of the coach of the defense, right?
Yeah, pretty much. You're the one that's kind of controlling the defense, and right. Pretty much your teammates listen to you whenever you're on the field. You're the one. You're kind of the leader.
So leadership has been something ever since sports. All through your life is leadership.
Definitely. I've played sports all my life. Played football, baseball, even played in a World Series 4 times when I was a kid too.
Yeah. So congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
We're going to hear a lot more about that.
Yeah.
So you went through that. You ended up starting a career as with Neiman Marcus.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So I was a finance manager for Neiman's for 12 years. Basically, ahead of the loyalty program. It's called the In-Circle Rewards. And so it's kind of like the frequent flyer program for American Airlines or Southwest. But I did all the budgeting, forecasting for that, a lot of contract negotiations with that.
And then into real estate. So a couple questions. What did you learn from football that's applied to real estate? And what have you learned from Neiman Marcus, the customer loyalty that's applied to real estate?
Okay. Football, just leadership. You have to, lead your clients. So that's the number one thing. Sometimes you have like first-time home buyers that go into it that they don't know anything about the process. So you got to kind of walk them through and be the leader in that. Right. Neiman Marcus, basically just everything that I did with my finance experience. That's also helped me with kind of taking people through the biggest financial step in their lives too.
Yeah. So the analytics, you have strong analytics, which I know appeals to a lot of people.
I do.
But what about that customer loyalty part of it? Because being ahead of the finance area of customer loyalty, you must have learned a lot about the Neiman Marcus way. And
yes. If you give good customer service, people will come back to you. That's the thing, So. That's my goal in every transaction, every interaction that I have with my clients. Always treat them like they're the most important person in the room.
Yeah, our staff at JPAR this week was talking about someone discovered something on Instagram that was talking about customer service. And talked about Amazon didn't put the retailers out of business; poor customer service did.
Exactly.
Netflix didn't put Blockbuster out of business. It was kind of ridiculous fees and processes, and the theme of this graphic was it's not technology that was the disruptor, it was poor customer service.
Right. And I feel that people have to adapt to that. That's the world we live in. Customer service. If you don't give it, then they're going on to the next realtor really fast. Yeah,
particularly in our industry where there are so many options.
Definitely.
To choose from. So fast forward, you've been in the business 4 years.
Yes.
You completed, you helped 22 families buy, sell, or invest in real estate this past year.
That's right.
That's phenomenal success, considering I believe the average NAR realtor does 4.
Right.
So you're up there at 22.
Right.
Tell us about how that happened. How did you create that business and that momentum?
Well, it wasn't always like that. My first year in real estate, I was one of those realtors that did actually less than average. I did about 2 transactions, and I felt that it was either time to get up and put in the work, or I was going to be out of the real estate world. So that's what I did.
So were you ready to quit?
I was thinking about it, yeah. I was really on the verge of quitting, but, I had the support of my wife. She was one of the main reasons why I got into real estate. As far as, she had a full-time, job in medical sales, and I had that net to help me get into it. And she kept pushing me forward, and I changed my mindset along the way that I was going to be successful.
Ooh, I want to talk about that a little bit. So first, your choice to come into real estate you felt was a higher purpose for you.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about that. Then I want to come back to the mindset.
Well, I've always, felt that I wanted to serve others. That's just my God-given ability. I felt that that's what I've always wanted to do. And so, I've always loved real estate. Bought a couple of homes before I got into it, and I love the process of it. And so, I felt that it was an easy transition for me to get into. It wasn't so easy at first, but now, now it is.
So serving families to buy, sell, or invest as your purpose in your first year, only completing 2 had to be really
it was very stressful.
Disappointing for you.
Very disappointing. I was wondering whether I did the right thing getting into real estate. But I think part of it was, switching brokerages to JP Associates and working alongside top producers and getting into that success mentality, that mindset around other people that were successful and learning from them. And that really has helped me to succeed.
Was there a moment, a time where that mental switch, was there an inflection point that where you said the light switch went on for you? What was it?
It was basically like, I don't want to go back to corporate America. I didn't want to have a normal, 9-to-5 job, and I wanted to be able to spend time with my family, my son. So I saw him. He was just, when I joined, when I first got into real estate, he was just born. And so I didn't want to leave that lifestyle. So it was either I need to get it going or get out.
Well, I heard a quote coming in today, whether, movement happens by either inspiration or desperation. And you got to that point, unfortunately, where you were like, I've got to make a decision.
I was desperate.
And I'm going to go one way or the other. And you chose success. And look at where you are today.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
So that's amazing.
I've enjoyed the ride. It's not an easy one, but it definitely pays off when you put in the time and the work.
Well, and I have to believe that during this tough time, before you experienced the success, you went back to the lessons you learned in football. You had to.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's times in football, I know that's, it's tough, right?
You get knocked down.
You get knocked down, you got to get back up, right? And it hurts.
It does. It hurts.
So that's amazing. Well, tell us a little bit about your systems and your process. How do you run your day?
So as far as systems, I feel like I have a good social media presence. I really like to show my customers and potential clients, stuff that could help them, as far as like real estate material. Like to show basically successes of clients, whether they're going under contract on a home or they're closing on a home because it's their best, one of their best days in their lives. And so you want to celebrate your clients, and that's one of my systems that I use, and then consistent follow-up with my customers too.
Consistent follow-up. Do you time block your day? How do you manage all of the priorities? Juggling 22 buyers, sellers, investors is not easy.
You have to time block. The good news is I get to take my son to school in the morning. But then, I'll go to a Starbucks and I'll work on my computer. I can work at home too. But the follow-up is important, reaching out to people. One of the most important things I think is like after the transaction and reaching out to the people that you've worked with in the past. And I think that's where most of my referrals that I've had recently have come from. After, it's not necessarily during the transaction, but after the transaction.
The research we've done, so much of the fallout occurs after the transaction. We read a stat the other day where 90% of consumers would use the realtor that helped them, but only like 20% do because they're not keeping in touch and following up. So it sounds like you've got that.
And it's kind of crazy because, the first 2 transactions that I was talking about, and those were in 2015, they took a chance on me. And, I'm friends with probably 99% of the people that I've worked with in the past. And I'm listing one of those clients' homes this week, and then next week the other client, I'm listing their house. So my first 2 transactions, have come back around. And so it is that steady friendship, relationship building that really works in real estate.
Well, that tells the audience a lot. When the first 2 clients come back to now relist, you've developed a rapport and a system and a process to leverage your business. So congratulations on that.
I appreciate that.
Well, so before we wrap up this episode, let's talk football. What about the Cowboys? Did you have a favorite NFL team, or are you a college guy?
Cowboys, I'm more NFL now. I like playing fantasy football and stuff like that. I love the Cowboys. They're my team. I'm excited that Witten's coming back.
I was going to say, there's a couple of announcements. Witten's back.
Witten's back. I think that he wants to win a ring. So let's go. Let's get a Super Bowl this year.
That desire, you want to win that ring. It's kind of like, hey, I don't want to go back.
Exactly.
That same desire.
Yeah, you want to win.
You want to win.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming in today, and it's so exciting to hear your story.
Definitely.
And I know the audience is going to benefit. Any last words of wisdom?
I mean, just basically when you're down, just keep getting back up.
Yeah, when you get knocked down, get back up.
Keep back up.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, and we'll see you soon on another episode of Success from Scratch.